Hey guys, it's Canine Betty White and Canine Ernie. And behind the camera here is Laura Holder, the Executive Director for Midwest Conservation Dogs. It's been a while since we had a live video, so we were all taking a break. Today I wanted to touch base and give you guys an update on the two doggies. Canine Ernie and Canine Betty White, and where they're at with their bumblebee nest material training. So I actually wanted to show you, we're going to be doing some training in a little bit here. This is one of the training aids that we are using today. This is a sample of a bumblebee nest material. It's kind of cool looking. I'll flip it underneath there. So that's the nest material, that the queen kind of put together. It's inside, it's just a little mason jar, sterilized mason jar that I use, and then I put the little strainer on top there, which lets the odor come out. And over here, I'll show you, I have a couple of empties that I'm going to be putting out today in the environment as well. And yeah, the dogs are doing great so far with their training. We have taken the detection work off-site a couple of times, and they are showing great reliability so far. Canine Betty White wants to get sniffing. I also wanted to share with you guys the setup that I use in my car. So when we are training, obviously, in transit to and from training to field work, the dogs are typically in this setup here. That we have a Vario cage kennel, which is a fabulous, costly, but it is a fabulous crash test rated kennel that they are in. It's super important for our working dogs to be in a secured transit situation. We don't allow them to be loose in the vehicles for their own safety, and obviously our own safety as the driver as well. So they are used to being in there. They each have their own little side now. If we're on a longer travel for, going around our region, I do have a secondary crate that I'll use that's a little bit more roomy. So we want them to maintain comfort as much as they can. We have our water bowls, our leashes. Ernie's very anxious to get started today. These little travel bowls are really great. I call them little burple bowls. If you're a kid from the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. So we have a couple of those handy. Let's see if I can collapse that without my other hand. Boop. What we also have here, obviously poop bags, because we clean up after our dogs. We have extra carabiners, because you can never have too many carabiners. And then we have the emergency contact info for both of the dogs. So I keep in each dog's profile a current image of them, their headshot, a full body shot of what they look like, their microchip info, the emergency contact info is on there. If I or one of our handlers would be unable to, seek the audible part of their body if they're being searched. Bear bells and all sorts of good stuff. Harnesses, leashes, extra treats, and so on. So that's our setup. That's my setup, I should say. Depending on the handler, they might have a little different setup depending on the vehicle that they're driving. So we are going to do a little bit of training. If you guys are just joining in, I'm just at my house today. Had a pretty busy office day, and we're gonna go off site tomorrow or Wednesday, but we have our bumblebee nest material in here, and then I have a couple of blanks of the same mason jar and strainer setup. So I'm just gonna be setting those out in the yard and neighborhood area today to do some quick drills. And both dogs are doing really well with the detection so far. They actually started smelling it when I was getting the target odor samples ready earlier today. So I'm going to sign off. Be sure to check our Facebook page. I hope to be putting an actual training video up later this week, so you guys can see what the dogs look like when they are searching for bumblebee nest materials, what they do when they find them, and so on and so forth. And yeah, I hope you guys are staying happy and staying safe, and we'll check in soon. Have a great evening.